to this process, to integrate technology to education, I think the educator should have enough information or have enough ability or skills to integrate this to the learning process.
Yes.
So I think that should be the issue to be addressed for educators to have enough training.
That's then the question, because like in podcast number 2, we talked about like with a teacher from international school, and they have like lots of EdTech, and they have EdTech coaches, and they have like lots of equipment to support them, and iPads for the kids and whatever. Then like obviously in Thai schools, it's not the case.
Yes.
So how do we like get those teachers on like a better level? Do we send them to like courses at university, or do we send like IT corporations there and say like, hey, what's...
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because, I mean, this issue should be addressed is that educators should be trained for technology literacy. So it could be, send a specialist to the school to giving them either boot camps or anything, or, having the teachers coming to events for training.
Right. Okay, understand. The question is like, how do you, not force, but how do you make sure that the teachers stay up to date, right? Because I assume that lots of teachers, they're like, oh God, no, I hate this shit.
Should it be like, or it should be like having them train and then have they take this, have the educators, take this standardized
like an assessment or something.
Yes.
But then it puts more pressure on them, and they might end up hating it because they have to study for the test.
That's true. That's true.
It's difficult,
bias.
right? Yeah.
Bias.
Yeah, it's difficult. I think the urge to use technology somehow needs to come within, but how do you nurture that? Is the
right,
question,
but if they don't follow the world,
exactly,
it's going to impact very badly to our future generation.
Right, so actually like technology shouldn't be seen as like an add-on to the real world, it should be like just part of it, right?
Yes. Like because, like for example, like these days, the students doesn't have to print out a lot of paper for making a report. They can make it online, for example, on Google Docs, and the teacher can check anytime.
I hate when students give me like paper reports. It's terrible.
Yes,
Students don't do that.
It is. And it would reduce, the resource.
Of course.
If the teacher shifts from, if the educators or the students shift from physical paper to cloud.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, that is an issue to be addressed for the educators to, have the ability to integrate the technology to education.
Yeah. You coming from the corporate world in IT, do you think we can, whoever that might be, can somehow like get like the corporations into like teach those people?
Yes, there are corporates that have this project. For example, Google has Google for Education. They focus on education.
Right.
And Apple, they also have education sector. Yeah, so I think the corporation are having this really focus on like separate team to focus on develop their education system.
Just need to like somehow increase the awareness of that, like in Thailand or in ASEAN for that matter.
Yeah, like for example, Google, they have like Google for Education, and their people not only that like selling the products to the school, but they're also educate both students and educators to use the technology to implement the technology to the process of their learning.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a social responsibility program of a company or something.
Yes.
That would be nice. Yeah, more companies should do that actually.
Yes.
I think.
And also government, the big part. Very, very big part.
I'm relying on my visa, so I don't say anything about the government in Thailand. I like Thailand.
Well, yes. Education is very issue to be addressed.
Yes.
It's as big as climate change. I mean, we should focus on developing the future generation.
I couldn't agree more. And I had it in our first podcast, actually. I mentioned it, like, right now, even in Thailand, the government does something good in regards of, like, technology. There's, like, this buzzword, digital economy, and they spend lots of money in having workshops and conferences and trying to get, like, Thailand on an e-commerce level, on the next e-commerce level. So Thailand is ready for e-commerce boom, now with ASEAN happening and everything. If they would do the same thing for education or technology, that would be awesome.
Yes, I mean, I want everyone to, like, at least aware of this problem that we have on education.
Yeah.
It's really a big problem, and there's few people that really actually see this problem and actually want to solve this problem.
I agree, yes. Just from a, like, personal point of view, do you have any, like, idea in your mind or anything that you say, we should totally do this, like a project, or this would help, like, education, technology, or anything that you want to share with the world?
Right now, I just want people to be aware that right now we have really a big problem about education, and I want everyone to, keep in mind that how we're gonna do to improve this problem, to solve this problem together.
Right.
It's not just few people, but all of us. It's a world problem.
Yeah, but the problem still is that, like, lots of people see, like, technology as, like,
Yeah.
and you don't need it to, and education is still reading books and so, but we already addressed that.
It's not just about reading. It's a process of learning.
Exactly. Yeah.
And especially if we still have bad education system right now, can you imagine that the next generation that are going to, how they're going to change our world? Are they going to improve our world, or are they going to, make our world even worse?
As someone who, like, is into IT a lot and reads a lot and stuff, what do you see as, like, something that could influence education from a technology perspective?
Wow, that's a very broad question.
Yes, but so you can answer with whatever comes to mind. Like, for example, one of the other guests said, like, the virtual reality, the Oculus Rift, for example, you can totally use it for virtual school, like, trips or tours or whatever, so students can see more stuff in 3D, it's more real to them.
I'm not sure if this is going to answer the questions, but back to when I was saying that students are different and diverse.
Right.
Each individual are unique, and they have different ability to learn. So you cannot just insert the same information to a group of students.
Right.
But instead, help each individual to realize about themselves, to help themselves, discover their real talent. Like, for example, I want the teacher help me discover what am I good at, what I love to do. Same as my friend. We don't have to be, in one class. We don't have to be a doctor or a teacher or a computer programmer.
But if your mom says you should be, I'm kidding. This is the Thai approach. I know.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes, that's a problem too. I mean, let's say in short, and so just if the teacher, help the individual to discover their talent.
Mm-hmm.
So can you imagine, like, each of us do what we love to do, and we're good at doing it? I think this will make our world being a better world.
I think it's actually a great answer, because I mean that comes down to, like, the teacher's ability, of course, to interact with the students. So you need really good teachers, but also you could totally use technology to do that, because you can. Let's say you're like primary school teacher or something, and your students have a class iPad or whatever, and then you see what are they using when they take the iPad home. They use this and this and this and that.
Yeah.
So they're interested in, I don't know, in this area. They're interested in archaeology or whatever.
Yes.
So and then you could actually focus on that.
Yeah. I mean, help each students help them discover themselves what they want to do,
Right.
their real interests.
Mm-hmm. Do you have, for like right now, any favorite EdTech application, program, source that you would like to share? It's like, that's cool, people try this out, it's awesome to help study.
I really want to recommend this Google Doc.
Okay.
Because it's it's not Microsoft. It's like a Word or Excel or a slide.
As someone who records it on, yes.
What is special is that, it's cloud and you can access to it anywhere. Like the teacher would assign the student doing some research and they would make a report online on a Google Doc, and for example, they have like 4 people in the team. You don't have to go in the same coffee shop and working together, but they can be anywhere and they can work anytime, collaborating in this report, and the teacher can to see this report at the same time, and it's collaborating work. Yes, I mean Google Doc.
It's funny to say it because I remember when we had like team meetings for the Startup Weekend.
Yes, that's how we do.
You would always say like, can I do it in Google Docs?
Yes, it's so easy. I mean, and it's very easy to use, and it's very easy to adopt using it.
Right.
I mean, most people use Microsoft Word, right?
Yeah, so don't do that, people. Yeah.
But it's so easy. I mean, once you install it, you figure out like quickly how to use it.
I agree, and it's so simple. And now, probably tech people listening to this, they say like, yeah, that's boring. But it's funny that how many teachers don't use it.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's so simple. Just get an email, log in, and then there you go.
Yeah.
So it like gets rid of like the distance gap, because it's still an excuse like, oh, we didn't have time to meet, and my friends lived there and there, and we couldn't do the project. There's no excuse anymore.
I think because it's too simple and people take it for granted, but when they actually use it, for example, like us, when we have like a team of like 7 people and have to work on this same one piece of work, we finally realize that this tool is so awesome, and it puts us more productive, and it's very effective.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. And this distance shouldn't matter anymore in 2015.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
And so it's free too.
Yeah, exactly. This podcast should be sponsored by Google. Just saying. Google, if you're listening, I'm free for sponsors. Thanks to Anny. Okay. Right. Man, time is running, so
oh no.
Famous last words.
No.
Say it again. No. Yeah. What? Anything else you want the world to know?
I wish we have more time to discuss about this more, but
we'll have a second part with Anny.
Yay! But yes, like I say, education problem right now should be a big issue to be addressed. Not just certain group of people, but everyone. Everyone should be aware of this problem, and everyone should help each other to solve this problem.
To make the world a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much for joining.
Sure.
That's what we become. That's what we become.